Today, from Las Vegas, Nevada, this is the National Football League. It's the Washington football team taking on the Minnesota Vikings.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Minnesota Vikings and the Washington football team. Underway here in Las Vegas. DeAndre Carter returning it. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. And out will come the leader of this offense. And that, of course, is their signal caller.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top? He's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
On first down, Zambrano. Thomas has got it, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So a pretty early first quarter roughing the passer penalty.
Seems like the officials are going to let everyone know they're taking charge of this game. They're always going to protect the quarterback.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Off the play fake. Zambrano. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A big connection on that one. 31 yards.
They started this drive with terrific field position, and it's going to get even better after that play. Had great options with where they started, so they decided to press their advantage, and it paid off.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Zambrano. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw again, Zambrano. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. So here come the Vikings with a long field ahead of them. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, We're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnists write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave what the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Operating from the gun. Mobley looking middle, and it's incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Looking to throw. Mobley able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
And we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Getting the ball is Cook running left. And this will be a Vikings first down as he's got this up to about the 34-yard line. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. Now a dump off here complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
First carry now for Alexander Madison, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Mobley. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Good coverage on the outside, and I think that's where he wanted to check that down to. But once he saw the danger over there, he just threw that one over everyone's head. Smart play.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Mobley. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. The first carry for the Memphis man, Antonio Gibson. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw. Zambrano. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Looking to throw. Zambrano. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the first down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot.
And I believe that gain on 3rd and long changes things quite a bit because this would be a very long field goal. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it here.
So the kick from here on a field goal would have been right at 53 yards, but instead, offense out there. They're going for it. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Zambrano, he'll check that down to Gibson out of the backfield. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up a third down. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again. They'd been moving the ball well, but this drive was in danger of stalling out. Fortunately, this is a nice throw here, and they're able to pick up a new set of downs.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's a give to Gibson. A nice little juke. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after 1. To throw on 3rd down. Zambrano. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Now on comes the Washington field goal unit. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And it's 3-0 Washington. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
After the made field goal, here's Sly to kick this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. Play action. Mobley. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that one a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
I'm looking at this with my defensive eyeglasses on because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought he had a mismatch? But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Mobley. That's complete to K.J. Osborne. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. From the gun on 3rd down. Mobley. And he's brought down, but not before picking up the first with a very effective stiff arm.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Cook running right. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Working with his 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Mobley. Open here, Adam Thielen.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Mobley. And complete right side to Cook. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Second down and 7. Back to the ground, Cook. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
On 1st and 10, Mobley. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. On 2nd down, Cook. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
They'll run on first down. Cook. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Open man here is Conklin. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
So they need 2 yards here on third down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on third down conversions on this drive. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line.
Oh, now an injured player down there, and this is not what you want to see. That's Justin Jefferson, who's having some issues. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Now Cook. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10.
43 yards on the ground for him so far.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Ball on the 8. It's 2nd and 4.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Dalvin Cook. Fine work there on the touchdown run.
And the Vikings have taken the lead. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Greg Joseph on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. And what a drive that was. 16 plays all told. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. DeAndre Carter now from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense.
And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
they'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Now a play fake here on first down. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Dalvin Cook taking the field for the Vikings' next possession.
And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Throwing on first down. Mobley got his man complete over the middle. It's Cook. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Looking to throw. Mobley throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
KJ Osborne, the one he was looking for.
But it's going to be second down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Steps away to his left. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
An extra man in the secondary for Washington on third down.
From the gun, Mobley. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Strong coverage by Washington, and now fourth down.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there, because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open, just a split second too late on the release. Mike Zimmer's made his decision, and that decision is to try and go for this thing on fourth down. They'll run for it. Cook. And, boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on fourth down, and they stop them short of the marker.
Oh, someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Back to throw. Zambrano over the middle, and it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
On 3rd down, here's Gibson. It's a 1st down and more for Gibson. And they would finally get him down at the 28. But Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. On 1st down, Zambrano. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. To throw on 2nd down. Zambrano over the middle. He gets it to Gibson. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Zambrano over the middle, complete. It's Carter. That catch good for only a couple. So we've reached intermission here in a low-scoring game. 7-3 is our score. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome, everyone, to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And the Vikings set to go on offense to begin the third quarter. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10.
starting the third quarter with Cook. 60 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Again, it's Cook. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Mobley. Complete. Jefferson to target. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Looking to throw. Mobley.
To the right side and complete to Jefferson.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
On 1st down, it's Cook. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They've got the lead early here in the 3rd quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the 1st half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they're leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the 2nd half.
Back to throw. Mobley.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Touchdown, Vikings! Adam Thielen, a 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Extra point right down the middle, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Here's Carter now on the return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. First possession of the second half now for Washington. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. Second down. Really good stop there by the end in this 4-3 defense.
And not just pass rushers anymore, are they? Those guys can use their hands, control the point of attack, shed those blockers, and go get those ball carriers.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Zambrano finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Tressway now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Oh, look at the juke. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 94 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, "I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along."
They run, Cook. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
8 yards to go on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Mobley. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he will have a Vikings first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Cook. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Second and 9. Off play action. Mobley. Open man is Osborne. He's got him. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Back to throw. Mobley. And he's got it. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
How about the timing on that one, where they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? They'll try to run this one in. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
That's a nice example of good team defense right there. Ball was snapped at the 1-yard line. They knocked him back and caused a loss. But you notice they were trying to find any type of a gap to run through. Wasn't one available, and they stuffed the play right there in the middle of the field.
From back at the 3 now. This is 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Mobley. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. K.J. Osborne there to make the grab. And the Vikings are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Joseph now to have the PAT. And it's 21-3. That time a 9-play drive, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Here's Carter now on the return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
On 1st and 10, Zambrano. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Dalvin Tomlinson able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot. Going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Second and 14. Back to throw. Zambrano. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Washington on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. Looking to throw. Zambrano. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Zambrano. Thomas brings it in. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big play that time through the air. 33 yards.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18. Back to throw. Zambrano. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. Just another reason to celebrate there on the defensive side with the interception, and this is a game that they clearly have firmly in their grasp.
Yeah, a lot of handshakes, a lot of hugs, a lot of smiles. It's been their day.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And after the slow start, the numbers show he has really straightened things out. How often sometimes is that you come into a game and the defense is game planned a little differently than you expected?
More often than maybe people realize. So adjustments are often a big part of each and every game. And it's not just getting to halftime. It's series to series to make it work. And being able to hang in there when there's a little adversity early and see them able to flip it around, it's kind of gratifying for a team to watch, especially for a coach.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Second down, they go right back to Cook. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. 107 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a good result there, as that'll get out of bounds and pin them back at their 10-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And now out comes Minnesota. And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable 4th quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. Down, here's the run with Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They run it again with Cook. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. The Vikings on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 8. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the 1st at the 32. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. This will be from 49 yards out. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, here we go on the next drive for Washington. Well, they didn't fall behind any further thanks to that missed field goal, but still staring at this fourth quarter deficit.
Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the fourth quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10
at the 39-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Zambrano buying time to his left. Finding some room at midfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
They go play action here on first down.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Looking to throw. Zambrano throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them.
And he lost the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble's going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth, it doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again.
And some space here. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Running for the first time with a fullback, C.J. Ham. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game. I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to this post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. So long, everybody.